Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katy.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by Home Right Windows and Doors, the right choice, winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State Awards.
I'm really excited about our next guest today, Tiny, because we're doing something a little different here with this interview.
Doesn't happen every day.
So we have Matt Anderson and Rick Jermain, and the movie that you guys we're going to talk about and really focus in on is called Serious Profession. And Matt, you are the writer, director. This is kind of like your brainchild, correct?
Yes.
And then Rick, you star in it.
Yep.
And Tiny and I were watching a little bit of it the last couple days, because the thing that makes it so significant to this particular area is it's shot in Waynesboro, right?
Yeah.
So why Waynesboro? How did that come about?
Well, it's I have a lot of people that are up here in Waynesboro, and Tom Toohey, who is one of the producers on the film, had some property that he allowed us to use, and along with his wife Angela. And so, it was the great locations, what we needed to really do the film. And we've actually have filmed other films in Waynesboro, thanks to him and to other support from other people in the community. So.
And we're going to put the link up for people to view the movie, but give us the overall premise of the movie and what it's about.
You want to take this one, Rick?
So Serious Profession is about two sort of low-level crime family enforcers, and basically follows us throughout the day, dealing with all the different kinds of people that we have to deal with. Yeah, I mean that's
it in a nutshell.
That's it in a nutshell.
Right, and you're a cop?
No, I'm one of the low-level crime enforcers.
Oh, okay.
He's a leg breaker.
Yeah.
He's one of the two leg breakers.
He gets the loans and all back and gets repayment, mobs, loan shark stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have a new partner that has been brought on, so
Yes.
I'm kind of training him, and he's very old school.
Your character, Rick, seems a bit, for an enforcer from with gang mafia related ties, comes off a bit reserved, as in I'm more forgiving than what we would traditionally see. Your partner, however, is young, ambitious, and really wants to bust heads. So
And he's
to
like
speak.
ruffling feathers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I think my character is sort of, he's been in it for a long time, and he's kind of learned that, you catch more flies with honey. So I think that's where he is now. It's just, the leg breaking and the violence and all that is like, yeah, that gets you to a certain point, but that doesn't have longevity. And I think that's mostly what I'm trying to teach.
I
my
want
partner.
to let you both have an opportunity to talk a little bit about your background. So let's start, Matt, with you. How did you come up with the idea for this film? And also, walk us through your background and then finish it off with the film idea.
Sure. Well, I was in the Air Force for 21 years, and we got to go a little even further back. When I was 7 years old, I had a dream. I wanted to be a novelist. So I started writing my first book, which was going to school on the moon. What else
Oh, cool.
did I know at seven?
I
at
mean,
7
I
years
like
old?
it.
Yeah. I'd watched a lot of Space 1999 at that point.
Sure.
Yeah. So that started, and I pretty much never stopped writing for many years. Then I joined the Air Force, and I got to go to Japan and experience a lot of different things, and kind of grow my life and see things I never would have seen if I hadn't. So that really influenced a lot of my writing, and then I would be inspired by different things that I'd see or encounter or experience myself. And then, of course, through my own journey of self-discovery, it helped me kind of develop that. And then when I retired, I worked for various government agencies, so I saw a lot more interesting things in my life. And so, a lot of, pretty much everything in all my stories has some connection to my life, either people I've known, experiences I've had, philosophies I've developed over the years. So Serious Profession was just one of many ideas that came out in the 90s. It was something that I created in the 90s when I was younger, but I really didn't develop it until I was much older, when I had a little bit more experience of life under my belt and had kind of shifted my own personal philosophies in life. So that's kind of where it came from. And Tom, one of our producers, he and I always get into this conversation about does every movie have to have a message or have to have a question or a theory behind it? And in this case, yes, it did. But not every movie that I've written does.
Is this your first feature film? I'm sorry, Katy.
That was my question.
Feature-length film?
This was actually the first one that we filmed, where I was writer and director. Technically, it is the second feature film that we are releasing, because the first one was Anna Key. We just wound up getting that one done a little bit faster than we did on Serious Profession. And so this was technically my first one that I ever did. We did it right on the edge of COVID. So it was COVID had just finished, or was starting to hope, get a little bit easier. Not much, but it was a little bit. And then went on Anna Key, and then produced a couple of other films, and one, Heavy Duty Man, that was filmed entirely in Waynesboro, and actually Waynesboro is the centerpiece for that. And then did These Things, also filmed it entirely in Waynesboro. So Waynesboro's been very good to us in giving us really great locations and really great people like Brandy Lynn Dalton, who let us use her entire house for These Things. It's just right up the road from the main street. Waynesboro Theater has been very supportive of us. They showed Anna Key. They're showing Serious Profession. And I know we're going to be showing just about every film that we ever make there.
I think it's so fun to watch it and point out, oh, I know that place. Yeah. I know where that is. Yeah. It's so fun for the audience to do that. And the premiere's coming up next week.
Yes. Saturday at 2 p.m. at Waynesboro Theater. Tickets are on sale now through their website, so you can go straight there, get your ticket. They're $15, $10 for kids. It's, there's nothing in there that kids can't see, but they probably are going to be a little, lack of a better term, bored, because it's not nonstop
CGI.
Action. It's a very...
You mean you don't have the Transformers make an appearance?
No,
okay.
No. I
Just
thought
a little
about
cameo.
it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I was joking. I always joked with Rick and the rest is that we were just going to throw in zombies randomly just to throw people off, but we decided.
Zombies Attack Waynesboro, I think, would be great. Probably get a lot of response, I think.
I think there are a couple movies where zombies have attacked Waynesboro. So,
there you go.
Just giving you material for your next movie here.
Yeah. Rick, let's move on to you if we could. Take us through, how did you get into acting? Is this one of your first few? Have you only ever worked with Matt here?
I got into acting basically on a fluke. I'd always wanted to do it since I was a little kid, but I never pursued it. I lived out in LA for almost 20 years and auditioned for a game show. I think that was about as close as I ever got. I was out there trying to be a rock star. And life takes turns. I wound up moving back here. And somebody just reached out to me randomly on Facebook and said, you would be perfect for this movie that we're doing. And so I got all excited, and things progressed and progressed. Anyway, in the end, it turned out that the whole thing was a scam. There was no movie. There was nothing.
How dare you, Matt?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, I'll name names if you want.
What a heartbreaker.
But anyway, it was just total garbage. And but I was so excited about, doing it. I was like, well, I'm just going to start auditioning then. So I did. I started auditioning. That was about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. I think I'm somewhere in the 70s now on IMDb. Records as far as how many movies I've been in and productions and stuff. I think it's somewhere around 70 now. So
what's the biggest film that you've been in?
Not too many really big ones. I mean, for me, Serious Profession is probably it.
Is that your biggest role that you've had?
Yeah, it's definitely my first major lead role. Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to film this? I know you said it was during the COVID was wrapping a bit. But
6 months.
Yeah, I mean, it was about 10 days, just broken up because of COVID and locations and time and period. A lot of it was just the post-production process that is what took longer, is just because we had some personnel shift over, and so I was having to basically take on the project and learn how to edit a film. So I was basically learning how to edit while I was editing. And then
That's fun.
Yeah, and then once, but had a lot of good support from our cinematographer Aaron Money, who actually kind of gave me some tips and pointers on how to edit. And then once I finally got through that, along I was trying to edit Anna Key and a couple of other films. So I got better, and then finally got it. And then we had Andrew Stainer who did the soundtrack for it, so it synced up his. And gave it over to Rick, and Rick did sound mixing on it because he's also a sound engineer along with all his other many talents. And so, once we finally got that all together, now we are ready for prime time, as they like to say.
And your production company is called Key 13?
Key 13 Films, yes.
And it's in Frederick.
Yes.
And so you may have touched upon this already. What made you think Waynesboro and not Frederick?
Well, I mean, I filmed in Frederick too. There are parts of Serious Profession that were done in Frederick, like all the stuff in the car. That was all done in Frederick with green screen. But we used locations from all over,
including your house,
including my house. Yes. So Waynesboro is just because there is a large independent film community here. There are a lot of great people here, like Tom Toohey, Angela Toohey.
Matt
Burns. There's just so many great people out this way that helped us get Serious Profession. Especially, this was my first feature film. Key 13 had barely been around. We were smack in the middle of COVID, so we are trying to establish a whole company with everything
shutting
in the world
down,
going and shutting down. So Waynesboro just has been incredibly gracious to us. It's been very helpful, very supportive, and so and I like the people here, like the locations. The town can be kind of a little bit of everything for what you need. So that's why we film in Frederick. We're going to be filming. We filmed in Virginia, any key pieces in Virginia. We film all over the area: Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So
this might be a silly question, but when you film in a certain area, do you have to get permission to do that from anybody?
It depends on where we're filming. Like the next film that I'm working on, which is called Following, we want to use the Riverwalk down in Frederick, Maryland. So we're going to have to get permission from the county, and if they let us do it, great. If not, then we have to find a location. So most of the time, it's the property owners that we contact, and they are, we ask them, hey, can we use your facilities? And for Serious Profession, Matt Burns' facility did a lot of that. He's also a producer on the film. So because of that, and because of his connections in Waynesboro, because he lives in Waynesboro, he was able to connect me with some of these businesses, and businesses said, yeah, sure, come on over. Let's film there. And so that, it's just the generosity, again, of Waynesboro and all the people in it that enabled us to make this film as close to what we wanted.
We have about a minute left in that time. So we have the premiere coming up next week. What is next for Serious Profession after that? What's the goal? What's the plan?
The plan is to go for distribution, and looking at some companies right now. Just want to get it done, and then once we do the premiere, just for everybody to get a chance to see, then we're going to start looking at different companies and hopefully get a distributor and get that out there.
And if people wanted to go to the premiere, because this is so fun, where do they get their tickets?
From the Waynesboro Theater website. I don't have the web address memorized, but you just type in Waynesboro Theater. Yeah. It's easy to find.
$15, $10 for kids. A lot of fun, and especially if you're in Waynesboro, come and see come and see your town in a movie. It's pretty cool. But thank you guys for
one of the key scenes is actually filmed right across the street from the theater. So.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's fun to point it out and just, have that connection to a movie. But thank you guys for spending your afternoon with us, and we look forward to the success of Serious Profession.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.